So in this short video, we're going to look at the 4 types of wireless technology which are now more popular than cabled technology or cabled networks, such as your Ethernet LAN. And these are Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, something called WiMAX, and something that you're probably very familiar with, which is the cellular networks like 4G, 3G, etc. You're probably by now well aware of what Bluetooth is, but maybe not how it operates. Bluetooth is a method of creating an ad hoc network between devices using short-range radio signals, and this limits the distance between devices to under 10 meters. An example of an application of Bluetooth is in wireless speakers. And with this example, if you want a device such as an iPad or a phone or a laptop computer to communicate with a speaker which is not connected by a cable, you first have to pair the two devices with each other over Bluetooth. And when you pair the two devices, this creates this ad hoc network so that files and signals can be sent in both directions between the devices. And while you can be paired to lots of different devices, here's a question for you. Can you send the same signal to multiple devices at the same time?
So what is Wi-Fi? So it's a method of communicating using the radio frequencies and making a network of computers using radio waves. It's different from Bluetooth ad hoc network because you use access points, and so think of these as fixed pieces of hardware that wireless devices can communicate with, and these fixed access points are linked to a wired internet connection, and they can provide the wired devices with access to the internet connection, a bit like this. So we've got 3 access points here, and they are all wired up to the router. And then your wireless devices, which could be situated anywhere in the vicinity of the access points, will connect to their nearest access point and therefore get access to the internet via the router. WiMAX is one that you maybe don't know much about. It's a protocol called Worldwide Interoperability for Microwave Access, and this is where we use microwaves, or imagine satellite dishes on top of roofs, and these satellite dishes can provide broadband access to neighbouring buildings. And this is because maybe it's impossible to cable up the buildings as you would normally, to telephone exchanges, and so these rooftop antenna allow for each of the buildings or series of buildings in a wide area network or a metropolitan area network, as I've designed here, to share internet signals. With cellular networks, this uses a form of wireless technology to create connections between mobile phones and the base station, or the mobile masts at the centre of each mobile phone cell. The way a cellular network works is that if you think about the 3 coloured cells here, if we have a person with a mobile phone within the blue cell, that mobile phone is communicating with the base station in the blue cell, and this allows This keeps it separate from the other two cells because the blue cell uses a different transmission signal, say it's A, whereas the yellow one uses transmission signal B and C uses transmission signal C, and that way they don't overlap with each other. So if the mobile phone moves out of zone A, say they're walking, and into zone C, it stops communicating with the base station in cell A, and then starts communicating with the base station in cell C. Depending where you are in the country, your base stations will have a different generation of the technology for communicating in cellular networks. And if we start with 1G, so 1G is basically just the voice, and that was it really. So just 1980s, 1G was just making calls from phone to phone. When it came to 2G, that was when you first transmitted digital messages. Okay, 3G is currently the most prevalent in the country, and that's when you've got multimedia and other sort of opportunities that make that take advantage of faster internet connections. Okay, so larger files than you could transfer through 2G, and current sort of fastest is 4G, and that's where smartphones can take advantage of much higher bandwidth. So as well as watching videos and streaming multimedia, you're also able to create and upload high quality multimedia. And of course it's continuing to evolve, and you have 5G, which is in its early stages, but these are only possible if you have got the capabilities built into each individual base station.